podcast all about theater, from the page to the stage, from the players to the playhouses. We're going to bring you the stories behind the stories that fill our stages and entertain us live in theater. Today, we're going to do back a little bit. We're going to get a little personal today. All of you know that I am a playwright, and several years ago, I was asked to write a play about Sam Cooke, and we're going to tell that story. We're going to tell the story from beginning as far as it'll go about the play, The Life of Sam, the triumphs and tragedies of a soul singer, all about Sam Cooke. A few years ago, almost 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago, a young man came to me and asked me if I would write a play about Sam Cooke. And I was intrigued by it. I was a Sam Cooke fan. And the young man sang a few tunes for me, and he sounded like Sam Cooke. And so I'm intrigued. Let's talk about it. And so he brought a producer in to meet with me, and we talked about it. And I said, okay, let's go for it. And so I started doing the research all about Sam Cooke. I went and bought a few books and jumped all over Google and started searching, and there's a wealth of information out there about Sam Cooke. So I started researching it and compiling it and putting it all together, which took me maybe several months, 4 or 5 months, to do the research and the writing to put together a play all about Sam Cooke. Um, I thought I'd done a really good job. Um, we put together a cast and did a preview performance, about 20 minutes of the script after it was approved by the producer. And we did that, and it went over real well. And so we went into the business of booking the Detroit Music Hall for the Performing Arts to do The Life of Sam. And we uh, spent several months rehearsing. I ended up having to replace the young man who originally came to me to play the role of Sam Cooke. And fortunately, I was sitting at my desk one day, and I was working on the play and listening to the music, and I'm listening to Cupid, and I'm saying that sounds like Hassan. And I said it sounds a lot like Hassan. So I called Hassan. I said, Hassan, I'm sitting there working on Sam Cooke, and I need to replace the lead role. And I'm listening to it, and it sounds like you. And Hassan says, well, man, uh, Tony, that's his wife, says, not only do I sound like him, I look like him. And I thought to myself, you're right. So we replaced the young man with Hassan Watkins, who's with us here today in the studio. Casted my thespian partner in crime, Mike White, as the narrator, and we worked, and we hit the stage at the music hall uh, December 30th, 2010, and it came off real well. Uh, but there's a lot of stories behind
Woo.
the story
Oh,
of the life of Sam Cooke.
yes.
So, first, let me introduce Hassan Watkins and Mike White, who are here in the studio. Say hello, fellas.
What's
Hey,
going
how
on,
y'all
everybody?
doing, world? Hey,
We're gonna let them talk about their stories, and I'm gonna talk about mine and the challenges we went through staging this play, and everything that we can. Sam Cooke was an interesting performer. He was one of the first singers to cross over from gospel to R&B or pop, as it was called, because he was just that popular, had that kind of voice, and he had that type of ambition and drive when he knew he was going to be a success no matter what, no matter what he did. So he switched from the highway, he went from the Highway QCs, which was a gospel quartet, to the Soulsters, who were probably the top gospel quartet during that time, and became their lead singer. and they were as popular in the churches as he was ever popular on the stage. In fact, if you recall, last week we talked about with Pastor Smalls from Hope United Methodist Church, the intersection between theater and the church. Well, the church didn't like the fact that Sam Cooke started singing pop music or R&B music, and yeah, that's a thing that goes on in the black community, especially. So we looked at that as part of his life story, and the thing about Sam Cooke was that not only was he triumphant as a singer, um, as a songwriter, um, he was also an astute businessman who owned his. He was one of the first people to own his own recording company and publishing. He owned his own publishing, which all woven together speaks to the whole thing about the tragedy of Sam Cooke. We know the triumphs of Sam Cooke. We know the hit after hit after hit after hit. We know um, the success, his drive, his ambition to lead him to have his own record company, his own publishing company. But along that story, all throughout that story, there were tragedies all along the way. That's why we got The Life of Sam, a play about the triumphs and tragedies of Sam Cooke. So we're going to get a little bit into all of that as we talk today, the rehearsals, the goings on. We're just going to talk about Sam Cooke and our experience with putting on a play. Remember, this is all about theater. Putting on the play, The Life of Sam, at the Detroit Music Hall in 2010. So, Hassan, anything you want to say to, to the
Yeah,
crowd?
I want to say something
Mike White, go right ahead.
because we're gonna jump around with these stories, y'all, because we got quite a few. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining in and watching. I want to thank Robert for having me, for not only picking me some odd years ago to play the role, but for having me here today. And thank my brother Mike White, because this guy just, I mean, he carried the play. He was the narrator. He carried me. I watched his professionalism, his style. And every day I went in there, I said, I got to lift my game up because I know Mike going to bring it. So I can't come here slacking because the main man in front of me before every scene is bringing it. So I got to bring it.
I split my check.
So it was like that. But let me get to one quick story. And as we pass these stories around, my story of getting the role is quite different than the story that Robert told y'all. But I'm going to tell y'all what happened with me. Now, I don't know what happened before me or the guy that was supposed to have it or none of that. But I can tell you this. The day I came into audition, another guy who the other producer, Johnny Washington, had brought in, he was the guy that Johnny wanted.
Spike De Leon.
Right. I was the guy that I guess
The writer
Robert wanted. So we both come walking into the spot at the same time together to go audition. Now I hadn't sung any Sam Cooke songs in my life. Didn't know much about Sam at that time. I mean, I knew his hits, but I knew nothing about his life. I never tried to sing him, none of that. So I'm going in here thinking I'm gonna have a cold read and we're gonna make this happen. And before I see my man, I actually thought I had the role. I'm walking in thinking I got the role. This all right. Let me just go bring my A game. No, when I walk in the door, I meet the guy. He just flew, and my man flew him in.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. So that was a little
Flew him in from
intimidating.
St. Louis
Flew
somewhere.
him in from out of town.
Kansas City.
My man walked in. He was crispy, sharp. He looked good. He was talking a heck of a game. He was talking about how much he knew Sam. He had been rehearsing Sam his whole life. His mama played Sam around the house every day. On weekends, she would play Sam. He even talked like Sam. It was quite intimidating, let me tell you, because I was like, oh my God, I ain't got a chance. This guy knows everything about Sam. He talking like him. I ain't never heard Sam talk in my life. So I was like, wow. I went in there kind of in my head a little low, like, wow. But thanks be to God. You could talk all that you wanted. It really taught me something about being humble. Don't be so cocky. Don't be so confident. Because my man was very cocky and very confident. And we went in there and we both read our parts. And all I could say is at the end of the day, they picked me. And all I could think about was this guy was so confident. it taught me a lesson later on in life. Don't walk in the spaces so cocky, so confident, thinking everything you got it all, or it's about you, because it might not happen like that. Thanks be to God, I got the role, and the rest was history. I'm gonna pass the mic to my man. So you put it down. Go ahead.
Mike
Go
White.
ahead.
Yeah, no, I remember that guy now.
Yeah, that guy
That was funny.
he was something
But
else.
yeah, for me, I remember the first time we read the script. Me, you, Karen, and that other fella you was talking about. And I was in love with the whole situation, the concept, and everything. Right from the start.
Right.
Especially being able to like tell the story in a way that I could visualize the way that we're gonna be walking in and out of these scenes and setting up with the information and then you see the facts and then when you came along it was like it took it for me to a whole nother level. It was like I was believing it and but yeah, that whole process, I just, I got a kick out of, and especially when it came to the part, just being a part of the process with Khalid, taking in this information and saying, okay, we need this move, we need this music, and this boy, how old was Khalid at the time?
He was young, very young.
He was
Like
And
19,
yeah. No, he was
younger than that.
2010. Khalid was that was what
yeah,
15 years ago. He was
okay,
like 20,
yeah, but his boy writing this music, man, and
22.
orchestrating this band, and I know it got a little contentious. That one song, it was like for me, that was it. That was a narrator right there. That was a narrator's theme song. And y'all want to use it for something else.
Which song was that?
I forget. We was using, the song with what was the girl's name? Sexy Mama. When she come out and
Oh,
she
Little
Idea.
Fame, Little Fame, Pre-Jew, Pre-Joe,
yeah.
Pre-Jones, something
Yeah,
like that.
that was her theme music when she was coming out. It was all sexy and smooth, but it was like, we gonna have to share that or something, but she gonna have to disappear.
Little Fame, for those who don't know, haven't seen the play, haven't read a book, Little Fame was one of Sam's female friends. And Sam had quite a few female friends.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Sam was a player.
Yeah.
And Little Fame was something special. Not only was she a friend of Sam, but Little Willie John,
Oh wow.
Fidel Castro.
And then we
Yeah.
mentioned that in the play.
Hey,
Yeah, we did. She had a little crew of women that were, I guess you could call them groupies at the time. But Little Fame was a prominent character in the life of Sam.
she wasn't hard to look at either. But listen, on the side, unrelated note, Little Willie John, his son, I ain't gonna say his name. One of them, it was two of them. Stole my woman while I was in the army, man.
Oh, that ain't good.
They told me, hey, sending me pictures. The guy, Jody taking the pictures, man.
Oh.
Said, no, not my woman, not my woman. Come back, I see the rest of the pictures. And there go his son trying to walk a mile in my shoe. They made that song, no, the brother.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, we know what he's talking about.
I know what he's talking about. I know the guys. They were in festival performing arts with me.
Yeah, so anyway, I was just being silly. But yeah, Lil Willie John, every time I hear that name, but anyway.
Take me back with you.
Yeah.
You married now. That's old.
Oh, yeah, no, that
Listen
was...
to this. You did so good. Now we back on that subject. You used to bring me out like on a few scenes. You would
Oh, yeah.
hype me up. You hyped me so good that I believed it. I actually, when I went out there, I was believing, okay, I'm the greatest. I'm gonna be great. Because
All
this man,
times.
he did so good that he lifted my spirit to where I was able to go out and lift the people's spirit.
And you know what?
What he did. And to this day, look here, sir. if I ever get on like I need to be on, I'm gonna hire you to bring me out.
And that's what I was getting ready to
Because
say.
you know how to do it. That's all I'm saying.
But my friends back in the day, we have just met. This was before I met Ron. But anyway, my friend Don Albert, he used to sing with the Dramatics,
Okay.
and LJ that's his first cousin. Anyway, I'm hanging out. I couldn't sing. My thing like I got to be on the stage, man. And the
This
Dramatics.
is before you start acting.
Yeah, well, high school, but yeah,
Okay.
before crack stepping. But it was like I gotta get on this thing. I gotta get on the stage with these guys. And the Dramatics, they used to have this guy. What was his name? It was a personal MC, and I can't remember his name. But anyway, I stole
His little part.
his thing, right? And my thing was, I would try to write, my intro, using whatever songs they would be singing,
Right.
and we're gonna. That's kind of what I did with the soul stories, right?
Right.
We're gonna make you do this. We're gonna make you do that.
stars before we
So yeah, it was like so, and then when the audience they kind of realize, what I'm doing, it's like I always got a kick out of that. So by the time, we got to doing this, and just the way that this, the role, the narrator role, it was like perfect for, you know, uh, for me and what I, envisioned. And it just gave me the opportunity to like, take that MC thing, like to another level and like from a beginning, to an end. I loved it, man. That's one of my favorite, other than Grandpa. That's one of my
you were the first
favorite roles to play.
You were the first narrator I ever seen in something that it wasn't like you was an out. Like usually, if you think of a narrator, it's like an outside voice.
Yeah.
You were so ingrained into the play and such a part of it. You had a major role. You was like a star every time anything would happen. I know you're looking for some money. I know. I'm waiting on him to put some more down there. Yeah, you owe me some money.
That's all my wife,
But,
baby.
For you that don't know, Mike White is one of the preeminent actors in the city of Detroit.
Now he wants some money.
Got his start with Ron Milner, one of Detroit's renowned playwrights. Maybe he's Detroit's most renowned playwright, Ron Milner, with Crack Stepping and several other plays. We had him on earlier in our series with Ron Milner's son, Raymark.
My new manager.
Yeah. So Mike White is quite experienced on the stage. In fact, I met him when we produced Ron Milner's Checkmates, and Ron directed that show for the Hope Repertory Theater. And I was so impressed with Mike that I gave up a role in one of my plays that I had always done myself. The only other person to do that role outside of me was Roger E. Mosley. And he cost a pretty penny. But Mike White came
I was
along,
cheap.
and I said, I can finally give up this role and just stick to directing, because Mike White can do Grandpa Bacon and My Play Family Love.
That was
been
a
with
joy.
me for a while now.
But the thing about that though is like, when I met y'all, it was like I really hadn't been doing anything for a lot of different reasons, but it was like, wow, these people, they got something going on, right? And so it was like rejuvenated my love for the art, right? And I met you and Terrell and Jeannie Lyle and these kids, Alicia and Stacy and and Tony, rest his soul. So yeah, it was like it felt good to me because when I met Ron, that was a kind of commitment and enthusiasm and dedication that I came into this atmosphere with. So it was like I hadn't, Ron told me one time, he wasn't talking to me, but he was talking to me. He said, some of us aren't as good as we think we are, right? And it's like I felt like a lot of people were just wasn't dedicated to the work, and what needed to happen in order to, you know, produce a good product story. If I can't, if I'm not feeling it, then how am I gonna make the audience feel it, right?
Mhm.
And some people 2 3 days before a show opens and you still reading your script, and you cheating me,
Right.
you cheating the audience. It's like this is not gonna be real. And unfortunately for me, that Ryan Milner spirit, I speak out of turn sometimes. People think, whatever they think, but I just love this craft, and I hate to work with people that disrespect it.
Right.
Let me just say this. You are watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV Live, streaming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and all other streaming platforms. Curtain Call on
Yeah.
WJZZ Live, streaming. So if you wanna like us, if you wanna love us, thumbs up, feel go right ahead and let us know. Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mike White, what he was just saying, as a director, I try to stay on top of everything, and the joy, uh, the advantage of having someone like Mike White in your play, in your rehearsals, is that what he just expressed, he will express it in the people in rehearsals to those people who are not doing what I would want them to be doing at the time. And sometimes he step on my toes to
But wait,
make
and,
to make those points.
and that's the
And I
thing.
love it. I love it.
Ron and I, we would have these heated disagreements. And I mean, I'm mad. I'm thinking to myself, boy, when I get out of here, I ain't never coming back here no more. And then, after rehearsal, you know, he, we say we good, and that's what it was. And even you and I, but even I've been mean around, but he understands, where it's coming from. I love this guy, but it's when it comes to the work, we be into it, man, and if it's what's the point if it's not going to be real? It ain't about Hassan and Mike or Rob. It's about
Mhm.
right. It's about
End
what we
product.
trying to
Right.
share with y'all.
There have been times in every production where I have had to go off,
Yeah,
and just go beyond my normal self as a director. But sometimes you just got to go there.
yeah,
But it works. We get the results. And it's good to have people like Mike and Hassan
yeah,
who understand the amount of work that goes into doing good theater. I say all the time, the energy that it takes to do theater is much greater than the energy you walk around with every day. You can't be you and do theater. You got to take it to a whole different level. These guys do that, man. They take it to a whole different level. And this play about somebody who actually lived, when I wrote this, I took actual dialogue uh, that Sam spoke, that his father spoke, that his sister spoke, that his producers and managers spoke, and weaved them into the dialogue. And so, what you're getting when you watch the life of Sam, and here's the book. I had to publish the book. We'll get into that later. Why I had to publish the book, but we weaved all that together. And so, what you're actually getting in the life of Sam is the actual story as they told it, with a little dramatic license from me, creating the different scenes and the dialogues. Uh, and like Hassan was saying about Mike, Mike opens this show up. Well, we actually start with some kids.
Right.
Sam
Oh,
at 9 years old talking about he's gonna be a star with a couple of his friends from the neighborhood, and then Mike White comes on with this
with the
monologue, this prologue, and just kicks it into high gear.
Nailed it. Set it up.
Kicks
Set
it
it up perfect.
Now-
Right. Everybody
right.
to like bounce from that springboard onto the crowd
Hey,
from the stage. That's how much he
hey,
put it out there.
not to mention the jacket.
Oh yeah, he was shot. He was shot. And speaking of work, now I want to go back on something. He was talking about the work and the dedication. See, y'all don't know all the behind the scenes stuff. Y'all just seen the play, seen the good product. Went, oh yeah, they did good. You don't know the hours and sacrifice made. And I want to put this out there, the sacrifice that was made on my end. I worked this play for months with them. We probably rehearsed for almost a year before we did the play.
About 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months. And I'm talking about constant everyday rehearsals.
And I got a point about that too that I want to get to later on.
And I'm telling you, every day, this was my life. I lived in 8 Sam. This wasn't nothing I just read the script, memorized, and we're gonna make it happen. No, I breathed and 8 Sam. Me, Mike, and everybody there on the cast were like family. We loved and hated each other at the same time because we were tired of being there too. But we made it happen.
We're talking a big cast, over 30, maybe 40, 50.
Right, you're dealing with 40, 50 personalities every day, all day. A lot of stuff can happen. But I gotta say this. I had to learn about 20 plus songs to do this play in 30 days before the play aired. Due to a company that owned the rights to the music, we had to switch the songs. I had to learn another 20 plus songs and have them ready for the play. Now, we still did the other songs, but it was in front of the curtain before the play started. So as the play started, we had to do another 20 plus songs that were not owned by that company. So you're talking about putting in some work. I had to put in some work to make that happen and to pull it off and make it sound like I've been doing that for 9 months or 6 months. So Mike was right about putting in the work and dedication. A lot of people would have ran from that part right there. Like, no, I got
to see. And the part about that, I mean, the guy came in smiling every time. No, it might be we even been had an argument or something. Somebody mad at me most of the time. But this guy come in with that smile and that energy and hitting them things like, I mean, I don't know if you ever even, but for me, a lot of times that would be because you had to schedule things, so you couldn't be there, and even that part, he couldn't be there with the rest of us, every single day. But when he came in, you could see that he had been doing the work, and it's just like, for me, like if you playing basketball or anything else, I can't play sports, but for me, it's like when they say somebody take you to another level. And that's what our ensemble was, I think, especially with some people. What's that girl named? LaWanda Nance. I love that girl. She didn't do a lot, but, when you said hit, when you said, action,
she was on point.
And everything that she did was real.
Straight up front.
So, and then, the Soul Stirrers,
Serious.
Yeah, serious. It's like, just every individual. And then eventually when Michael Wright came. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Since we glossed Mike White, let me self-gloss. We
what you say? Let yourself.
We backstage, right? Yeah. And after we had done the show a few times, right? And me and him are backstage, and he leans over to me and said, "Hey man, you got a flair for this."
He had that raspy big time.
I say, my man.
I'm gonna tell you what cracked me. Can I say something about him?
Yeah. But I got to put this in context what happened with the music.
I just want to say about Michael Wright, which is my man. I love him. We chat every year on each other's birthday, and whenever Sam's birthday come up, I'll send him a text. Just a reminder how we work together. Right. But let me tell you about a pro's pro. This dude, now we worked all these months building our chemistry and getting it together. Right. He came like a day, no more than 2 days, I think, before the show. He walked in off from the airport, cold. Right. And I'm gonna tell you, he didn't even have all the lines perfect. He did a lot of ad-libbing. I give him that now. But I tell you this, his interpretation of the script and what his role was supposed to be, it was unbelievable to me. I was sitting back looking like, because it took me like time to figure out how to be Sam, how to work this out. My man walked in cold from LA and just, he embodied the character. He had where Rob didn't have to teach him nothing. He didn't even have to direct him that much because my man.
I had to work with him.
But I'm just saying, he blew my mind of how he interpreted the whole script so
Yeah.
well that fast and not to have been with the group. And I got to give my man Michael Wright props for that. His
Yeah.
professional level, it affected me like Michael White's did. Michael White's was so good that I had to lift up everything in rehearsal and be better because he was just coming out on point. So
Yeah.
when Michael Wright walked in and did what he did, I said, "Oh my God, I gotta lift this up on stage because this dude interpreted this too fast." So it's like they say, "Steel sharpens steel."
Yeah.
That's what happens in life
Right.
when you in a project and you giving it your all, and somebody next to you giving it they all and some. It
Exactly.
makes you lift up. You either gonna stand up or you're gonna get down and get out the way.
We're talking about Michael Wright, who is probably best known as Eddie Kane from the
Yes.
Five Heartbeats.
Yes.
He was our star for
Yes, he was.
the life of Sam. You are watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world.
Yes, sir.
You can stream us live on YouTube, Facebook, and all other streaming services. Feel free to like us, love us. Well, give us your opinion, make comments, or whatever. Again, Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. Now, Hassan talked about having to learn all that music.
Yes.
Here's what happened.
Yeah, tell them why I had to learn all that.
When we mounted this play and scheduled it, the producer contacted the company that owns all the rights to Sam Cooke's music. Not only did they own the rights to Sam Cooke's music, they own the rights to Bobby Womack's music.
Yes.
Had one time owned the rights to all the Beatles' music, but George Harrison was able to get his music back from them. The company is called ABCO.
Yes, say the name. Say the name.
And it was founded by Alan B. Klein, thus ABCO, Alan B. Klein Company. For those who don't know, Alan B. Klein was Sam Cooke's manager at the time of his death. Um, uh, Sam Cooke, who I had mentioned earlier, owned all of his masters. He had his own publishing company. He went into business with Alan B. Klein as a partner. But right before his death, he found out that on paper, he wasn't a co-owner, he was an employee.
Right.
So he had planned to fire Alan B. Klein. In, Upon his death, Alan B. Klein owned all the music, all of Sam Cooke's music, all of his rights, everything, everything. Makes you want to go,
Right.
you know.
How did he die then?
Anyway,
Right, exactly.
The
Right.
producer reached out to ABCO and on a number of occasions to purchase to lease the rights to use the music in the play, and we never got a response ever. They never responded back to us. What happened? Um, we were just going. We knew we were doing a week run, a weekend run, 4 or 5 day run, and we were going to use the music. Since they didn't get back with us, we didn't feel like it would be a problem using the music. If you recall, right before we were, maybe a month or so before we would open, Aretha Franklin appeared on Wendy Williams' show.
Yes, she did.
And Wendy asked her what she was going to do when she got out of the hospital, because she had been in the hospital dealing with some health issues. And the first, Aretha told Wendy that the first thing she was going to do is go see the Sam Cooke play.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't long after that we heard from ABCO telling us not to do the music. We again tried to get the rights, purchase the rights for the music, pay them for the royalties or whatever. They refused us, told us not to even do the play.
Right.
Say, don't even do the play.
Right.
Well, I had been doing the research all along on the music, and in the process of doing my research, I came across a clause called small performing rights. And what I did is, once we realized we couldn't do the music in the show, this clause became instrumental in what we did. You could do up to 15 to 20 minutes of, you can do up to 20 minutes of the music, of Sam Cooke's music, or any artist's music that you're writing a play about, as long as it's not in the play. You could do it before the play, you could do it after the play. You just couldn't do it in the play. So what we did is we took all the hits, put together a 15-minute medley. Uh, Traditionally, I've always started my plays at 8:15, and so I market my plays to start at 8:15. I've been doing that since Tennessee State University. How we did it at Tennessee State, we started 8:15. So people usually arrive around 8 o'clock, a little bit before 8, because that's usually the starting time. So we took that 15 minutes and put it at 8 o'clock, and we opened our show right at 8:15. On time, always on time.
Yeah, he's on time.
And so the night of opening night, they were there.
Packed out, sold out.
They was there. They were out on the street. I mean, I'm talking about Apco.
Oh yeah,
They was they were there in the audience, and they watched the show. They saw the 15 minutes of Sam Cooke's hits before the show opened. When the show opened, we didn't do any of the songs that they own the rights to in the show.
But we did a bunch of songs.
We
that
did
he sang
songs that he
in
sang,
the show.
gospel songs and the standards that he did, particularly from the Copa, When I Fall in Love and Tennessee Waltz,
Yes.
and the Riddle song, which is we going to talk about. Hopefully, we can get to talk about that the song he did after he lost his child in the drowning of his son. But that's what happened, and after a successful run, we said, okay, it's time to get this show ready for the road. I had to cut the script back. Every night we had to take scenes out of the script because it was just way too long. Thus the book. So we would cut it back a little bit every night. And we had a successful one and got it down to a real tight 2.5 hours. And so I edited it some more, and we were coming back in February. And about a week or two before we were to mount in February, APCO sued us and shut us down and tied us up in court for several years.
Shut my dream down. I was supposed to be on the road. I'm supposed to be doing the wicked. Something.
Yeah, they just shut us down. And the reason they said they shut us down is, and why they would, and what I found out in my research is that we weren't the only company, the only play they had shut down. Everybody who had tried to do Sam Cooke on stage had been shut down
Right, but
by
y'all
this
made it
company
happen.
before they were able to do the show.
Right.
And the reason they gave was that they were doing a movie. It is 2025, and I have yet to see that movie.
I've yet to see that movie.
And they also said, so I told them in court that we were doing a play. We weren't doing the movie. And it was an original script, which they could do nothing about.
Didn't they? Remember they tried to sue me.
I haven't seen
this. They tried to sue me. They had me in the suit originally before they
Yeah.
just rolled y'all the horse.
They sued us, the
tried to
music
sue
hall,
me,
everybody.
talking about because I looked too much like him. I was stealing his
They
likeness.
even sued the music hall.
Judge threw that out. Crazy.
Yeah, nothing happened with that. It was dismissed. But they shut us down for several years.
Man, I started talking smart at work, thinking I started getting smart at work, thinking I'm gonna be out here anyway. I'm get smart with folk I ain't supposed to be talking to.
Said another thing.
Yeah. I don't care. Send me home.
But that's what's happening. That was happening in that aspect of our theater journey with the life of Sam. The story of Sam was just, again, when I mentioned the tragedies, losing his son,
Right.
Losing one of his, somebody died in a car wreck. Which one of his key people? Died in a wreck. Lou Rawls was in that wreck.
Yeah, Lou Rawls was in the wreck, but he didn't die.
Lou Rawls was a protege. Bobby Womack was a protege. We had a Bobby Womack. We had to care for Bobby Womack, and we wrote a song that had the same elements of I wish he didn't trust me so much.
The Dirty
Uh,
Dog.
and,
Yeah, he did.
and they wanted to sue us on that too, but all we did was took the original words and took as it was explained to me by my son, all these songs Sam Cooke wrote, all the songs he did, and a lot of artists, they all of their songs are in 2 or 3 different keys.
Right.
They
Oh,
always
yeah.
write in the same keys.
Right.
They use the same chords. So all we did is took the chords
Right.
and created a song that kind of sounded like.
Yeah.
I
Because
wish
you
he
think
didn't
about
trust
it,
me.
if you listen to the stuff good, you can kind of hear a little bit of in each song.
Right.
Like you can hear it.
Right.
Yeah, I started peeping that after y'all said that. I don't know a lot, but it's like, okay, yeah, you can make Howdy Doody or anything.
Right, because
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why how I knew that too. Because when we did the medleys,
Mm-hmm.
the transition was too easy. It was so smooth and easy because the songs are so much alike.
Right. So that's what we did. That's how we did it. Mike White mentioned Khalid. For all those don't know, my son Khalid Douglas is an outstanding musician,
Yes, he is.
composer,
Yeah, that's the word.
musical director, and
Almost-
musical director. And
Almost
that's what
pretty as
my
me too.
homeboy told me, a young man told me out of New York one night after the show that music was the best he'd ever heard of Sam Cooke music live. So it was a good show.
It really was.
It really
It
was.
changed my life seriously because I mean, so many people knew me after that, and it's funny because so many people to this day, especially the older people,
Mm-hmm.
they call me Sam.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny they call me Sam. It's funny. I was out with one of my partners, and he starring everything, and a guy was all on him, giving him his love and his props, and he turned to me and like, Hassan such a, he introduced me to the guy like he put me up on something. My man said, I know him, that's Sam. Oh, he made me feel so good.
Yeah.
And it was like, it all goes back. Robert, let me give you some flowers while you're here. Could take them. I would have never probably been, and not pat myself on the back, but as decent of an actor or successful as an actor as I have been if it not been for you. You took me under your wing. I don't know if you remember when you first started the repertory theater at Hope. I was one of your first actors,
Mm-hmm.
and you kept me under your belt. No, it ain't had nothing to do with me being so good. I think I was like a son almost to you. You just kept me there. You worked me. You massaged my thinking, my delivery, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, after about a couple plays, you could tell me nothing no more.
Right.
I walked in the room thinking, shoot, y'all better follow up. So,
Right.
yeah,
Hassan has been in several of my plays. Family Love, Bringing the Word. What else?
it was at least 4 of them. I know more. Might have been more, right?
Yeah.
But
Grandma Rogers, you
Yeah.
do that?
Grandma Rogers.
Grandma Rogers,
Neighborhood.
yeah.
Right.
this man
He
is a
killed it,
great
Grandma
writer.
Rogers
So I want to give him
Neighborhood.
his props. Like I said, he's a great writer. One of the best writers and directors I ever worked with. He is the best I ever worked with, but one of the best I ever known. And I'm telling you, you need to get this book, y'all, The Life of Sam, because the play ain't out there. We don't have full coverage of the play, but the book can tell you everything. And this guy is just fantabulous, if I can make that word up right now. And just check it out. It was a great production. It was great to do this with my man Mike, and we all stayed tight. Since
That
then,
part.
this wasn't no one little hit and everybody spread it, went their own separate ways. Us three here, we have kept in touch.
Mm-hmm.
We've done things since then, outings as families together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a great
Yeah,
experience. And
everybody.
it continues to be one because
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just a job for us. We became close.
Mm-hmm. What I did with the book, I had to publish the book because they wouldn't let us do the play. What's in the book is everything that I wrote originally to get all the scenes that would fill out and give the audience everything that they needed to know about Sam Cooke. I knew from the original script that it was too long for the stage.
Anyway.
Right, right. And I knew it was going to have to be edited down, but I wanted to write a script where I could complete it and then pare it down without losing the essence of who Sam Cooke was. I knew we were going to have to edit it down. But when I did the book, it's the whole thing that I wrote from start to finish, every scene that I felt was relevant to his life. And this picture on the front is Hassan live on stage.
And I didn't know that, Robert.
Yeah.
I was looking at that picture today. I was like,
That's
is
you.
that me? And I couldn't tell.
Yeah, that's you.
Wow, I gotta get this book.
Yeah.
You got to get your money, man.
What happened on stage was there was no way we could do all these scenes and all that music. It would take a half a day. We would have to do it in episodes, almost like a TV.
Right.
That's a thought.
Yeah. It might be a good
That's
move.
a thought.
Tubi might call you.
Right. Dude, you were watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and all other streaming platforms. So like us, love us, give us a thumbs up, let us know that you're watching. Again, Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV. We had some great talent in this show.
I know. I wanted to mention something.
Right, great talent in this show. You mentioned LaWanda Nance, excellent actress. She just every time her scene came up, she just
Boom.
just blew it away. There was a child who played Sam Cooke's daughter, Morgan.
Oh yeah.
Morgan. Little Morgan.
Oh yeah.
Little Morgan. And that was one of the things I sit out in the audience and watch Morgan work. And Morgan was her expressions, her facial expressions, her dynamics, her actions,
It's
her
like
emotions
that been here.
were just spot on. And it kind of soured me on doing plays at the music hall because you're can be so far away that you can't see the subtleties of the acting. So I actually prefer smaller venues. But she did an outstanding job. She's grown into quite a young lady. She performed as a dancer in Usher's halftime show at the Super Bowl last year.
Wow.
Yeah, she was a dancer on Usher's show last year. Carla Pace, a local singer who's just great singer and actress as well. Diane Matthews, singers. We got great. They were all great singers. Diane, Carla,
Deborah Chenault Green.
Yeah, Deborah Chenault Green was my mom.
How can we not
Lord, yeah.
Deborah Chenault Green?
And she big time now.
Yeah, she's movie star.
Yeah,
Deborah's a movie star.
Yeah.
You see her on Tubi in a number.
She's in a movie right now.
Different movies
that I had the blessing to be an extra in. She's in a movie right now on Tubi called Mirror of Deception. Go check her out. And while we giving flowers, I'm gonna get some flowers to my girl Karan Moore.
Yeah, Karen. Karen
Moore.
Moore.
Yeah, she played my wife in the Sam Cooke play. She was so good, and now she's been on the Oval for the last 3 years.
Karen is the first lady of Victoria on the Oval every Tuesday night. You can see her tonight. No,
right.
That's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night on the Oval. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know how many of you watched the Oval, but there's a character in the Oval who's a Secret Service guy named Bobby.
Yeah, I know. I watched.
In her scene in the play with Bobby Womack, she says she is kind of drawn to Bobby Womack.
Yeah.
And there's a line that she would throw, and then she ad-libbed this line. I didn't write it. I wish I did, but she ad-libbed the line. She said, Bobby.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching the Oval a couple of weeks ago. She didn't do that. Bobby out there for all the world to see. And I'm thinking Sam Cooke.
Crystal Craft.
She
played a great role.
Yep. Cliff Sykes.
Yes, Cliff Sykes.
Paul Johnson, who's an outstanding playwright and director himself.
Yeah, he got movies out.
Got movies out as well. Paul Dean.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Paul Dean. He played one of the.
And somebody is very talented, young fella. He called himself Marcus Beach.
Marcus Beach. He called himself Parable something.
Parable Ted.
Yeah. He do some good writing though now.
Yeah. I love that boy, man.
Yeah. Well, I got to get some of these guys.
Can I give a little love too to a guy who's not with us anymore? but he was so prominent in my role as Sam.
Right.
He
Right.
trained me basically.
Mhm.
They Robert and the producer Johnny sick this guy on me. And I had to damn near hold this guy's hand every day. We were together every day. He was on top of my diction, my breathing,
That
my
part.
delivery, everything. His name is Larry Griffin. He was the
Oh yeah.
he was the head
Lead
of
singer
Sirius. Yeah, he was the lead singer with Sirius and the head of their group.
Right.
He made me Sam. And to this day, like I took a lot from Sam. This whole play, like I said, it affected my life so much because it affected my whole singing and my style as an artist.
Mhm.
Now, every time I sing a song, I make sure I enunciate properly. I put the t on my T's, everything. All that came from
Sam
the
Cooke.
play.
Mhm.
If you hear me singing, you think this guy's singing a little proper. Yup, because it came from Sam Cooke. It came from Larry Griffin teaching me and training me. And I'm gonna tell you, they beat me. Larry Griffin and Johnny beat me over the head with Sam because I would sing it from the best of my ability. And they go, nope, do it again.
Yeah.
And that happened so much. It was days I wanted to kill them.
Mhm.
Days I would be so mad. Like in my brain, I'm thinking, I can't sing it no better. That's it. That's all I can give you. And they kept pushing me and pushing me. Do it again, again. And it turned out good because come show night, oh my God, it flowed and the
Second
people
nature.
ate it up. Yes,
Right.
second nature.
I'm going to ask you to go on Amazon.com or Kindle and purchase the book,
Yes.
The Life of Sam, The Triumphs and Tragedies of a Soul Singer, and read it for yourself. And then download from Spotify or Amazon or wherever you get your music from, all of Sam Cooke's music, and listen to it as you read through the script. It's good reading. It's written in the script form, so you will get what we did on the stage.
Yes.
With that, our time is up. It's been fun. We can go on and on and
Yeah.
on.
We got a lot of stories,
So,
baby.
we love what we do, and you can tell that from just seeing what we've done here today. So we'll see you next week on Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV. Have a good evening.